Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And man, what a disappointing female.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Oh, the worst part is you're referring to me. And I can't argue that.
What's great is one, that's true, and then two, that explanation will make even less sense.
Yeah.
Pay
God.
for $2, you can figure it
Uh,
out.
but speaking of sense, Rem, last week was a little.
Oh God,
It didn't make a lot of sense for you, did it?
no, oh God, why are they idols?
Because
They
idol
don't even
culture is
care
strong.
about they don't care about being idols. The show doesn't care about them being idols. Even the game doesn't really care about them being idols. Why are they idols?
I mean, they do idol stuff at least in the final episode of each season. I saw that much.
But why? It's so tacked on. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna.
We
gonna
don't need
start
to have you
ranting
go on
again.
another hour-long rant of you getting upset at horse girls again.
And I will if you let me.
Like, man, do you just bubble over with hatred? But no, Rem, I think we needed something a little more lighthearted this week. Because surprisingly, turns out, the Gotcha Horses was a heavier episode than I would have anticipated.
Yeah.
So tell me, Rem, last week we couldn't really do anything new because of the seasons and how we only had a couple episodes out. But now we've got 3 episodes out of an anime. We can watch something new this season.
Topical for 2 weeks in a row. Oh my
yeah.
God.
But we're being topical in a way that really, Rem, this is this is a show that I saw on my list of things to watch. I watched it and I was like, this will be a nice palate cleanser for the horse girl situation.
All right.
So tell me, Rem, what in horror movies especially, what monster do you think is like the most overused?
The most overused.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. It first depends on the era, of course.
Let's say mid 2000s, 2010s.
Oh, okay. Then that's the easiest answer of my life. Zombies.
Oh yeah, 1000%, right?
During that era, especially, like it's died down a bit. You still see them off and around. They're always like included, at very least, as a token monster. But in that era, oh my God, everything was zombie.
Yeah, and back then we felt a lot of zombie fatigue, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah.
But nowadays, Rem, I don't think that fatigue is really all that prevalent. Yeah.
No, it's gone down. Yeah, so it's much more. We're much more accepting now if it shows up.
And like by and large, we didn't hate zombies back then. We just hated the oversaturation and abundance that was done poorly.
Yeah, well, it's here's the issue. Even just like with trends generally, right? It's rarely that the thing itself is ipso facto bad when we're talking about thematic trends like this, right? With zombies, there's a lot of core elements that are just genuinely very compelling. That idea of societal collapse, of the transformation and loss of the self, of infection of man as monster, all of these are extremely resonant to trying to fight for survival, trying to restart. Even strangely, I think a lot of zombie media is a kind of power fantasy, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's in the current world, I'm so restricted and chained up by all of the systems that exist around me, right? That I can't flourish within. But if I had a fresh start, if society were to completely collapse through zombie apocalypse and I'm left to my own devices, then I can flourish. And so it's a weird, strange, but far more compelling power fantasy in that way. It's just that when you get media doing the exact same tropes the exact same way every single fucking time and not adding or anything to it or changing it in any way or focusing on compelling human stories, then you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, I get it. You're just here because it's popular, not because you had a meaningful story to tell.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen lots of variations on the zombies themselves as well, right? Like,
oh yeah,
like since the OG Night of the Living Dead days, you saw just the shambling, slow corpses. like all the way up to the like 28 Days Later style fast rage zombies. Like we've seen all kinds of varieties of zombies.
You get like Last of Us, where it's now fungal infection and spores and stuff, and spores generally have become more popular in that vein.
Or like Train to Busan, where you just get sad.
yeah.
Not the zombies. The zombies are very angry, but like you yourself watching that movie gets very sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've seen a lot of varieties of zombies, and basically, since you and I are so well versed in horror, we've seen, I would argue, but just about every variation out there. Ram, what if I told you I had a variation on zombies today that I don't think you've ever seen?
Interesting. All right. Well, I have seen Zombie Idols, so that at least checks off one of the strange routes it could go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, like, and don't get me wrong, I love the Zombie Idols thing. That's great. Zombie Idols are fun. But no, Rem, I've got something very different. There's a lot of hot shows this season coming out, but there's only one real hardcore zombie themed show. And I thought, since we're horror fans and since you had a rough go, we should take it nice and easy and cover something that you and I know about.
All right, let's see. I don't think it's gonna actually be horror right off the bat.
Okay.
I think my prediction, let's go with this. All right, one of two options.
Okay.
One of two options. One, zombie isekai, all right? Where, specifically, you've died and come back, and you're like, oh, I have multiple lives, but, oh, fuck, you don't come back because you're a person in this video game world kind of deal, right?
Uh-huh.
You don't just respawn naturally, rather, you get more and more zombified every time. You're like, oh, fuck. And it's like, oh, I can't die. In, like, episode 1, he dies and comes back as a zombie, and it's like, I never even want to see what happens if I die another time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, something like that. Number 2, zombie magical girl.
Just a magical girl that also happens to be losing body parts.
Yes.
So very Madoka, just with a lot more gore.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Both accounts are wrong.
Fuck.
Though I do like both of those. Those do sound nice.
They're marketable.
They're marketable, and I would watch them. But no, Rem. Today, what if I told you that the titular monsters and zombies of this anime, well, I'll just give you the title and it'll explain everything. Today, Remington, we are going to be watching the 2025 anime Nyaight of the Living Cat.
Oh my god.
the anime where it's a zombie virus anime, but instead of becoming undead monstrosities, people turn into cats through a virus.
Oh god. I don't like the angle that this cat is there's some weird stuff going on. I don't like how its haunches meet in the middle.
Well, don't stare at it too long, Rem. Jeez.
It's displaying itself.
Well, I mean, here's the cover of the manga. Does this look better to you?
It's got big balls.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's a person who got freshly turned into a cat. They didn't have time to get spayed or neutered.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
Look, man, they made their decision for the anime version, and but yeah, Rev.
Okay. All right. Here we are.
Yes. So Rem, that is quite literally what this anime is about. It is a group of survivors, one of which who has a mysterious past that he doesn't remember for whatever reasons, but he does have an extensive knowledge on cats for some reason. When out of nowhere, the apocalypse hits, and people who so much as interact with these cats get turned into cats. And it's a problem because in this alternate setting, it appears that cats are just the best thing ever, and humans love cats more than life itself. Because you might be thinking to yourself, Rem, well, okay, if these cats are, threatening humanity as a whole, why not just, deal with them violently? Obviously, Rem, you can't match that. You can't shoot a cat. What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, you walk around with a spray bottle and just,
It's funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that, Rem. Yeah. So yeah, no, this is a very, quite frankly, stupid anime about a cat-themed zombie apocalypse and a protagonist who doesn't know who he is, but by God, does he love cats?
Yeah.
Which is a problem. Right. Like, this is the kind of apocalypse that would kill your girlfriend instantly.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I'd be pretty fucked just because I'm in the house with 3 cats and my girlfriend who's instantly turning into a cat.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't take long, I mean, I've just got Hermaeus to deal with, and he's dumb as bricks. So I think I can get away.
Yeah, I think you have a chance. I'm so fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a random show from the season lineup, and I thought it would be a very interesting palate cleanser, and maybe there's some quality here. Yeah, that, or it's just watching 3 episodes of cats being cats and people freaking out that they're cats.
There's lots of ways that this could succeed, and also a handful of ways that this could fail miserably.
Yeah, but either way, I think that's all you really need to know. Do you have any other questions, sir?
None to ask you, just all to hopefully be answered watching the show.
Yeah, so yeah, I think without further ado, let's just go and watch some Nyaight of the Living Cat. And we are back after watching the first 3 episodes of the confusingly titled Nyaight of the Living Cat. And tell me, Rem, how does it feel seeing one of your favorite creatures be turned into just the most evil thing known to man?
Well, Shaun, the Nyaight of the Living Cat, I'm probably just gonna say Night of the Living Cat.
Well, you don't wanna fully like ooh nya it up every time. You don't wanna join me in being a cat boy on the internet. I've been that for several years already, right?
Yeah, see, you've embraced it. I'm not quite there. I'm not there yet.
It's less of me embracing it and more being like, well, this is how my life has come.
Yeah.
You don't usually plan to be a cat boy on the internet, right? It's just kind of how your life takes you from time to time.
So, it's a lot of things that I like. Cats are great. Spooky horror and plenty of horror references. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Mercury shows up.
Oh yeah.
He's around.
I mean, why wouldn't he be?
I don't really. I can understand, for instance, why, I think, Ellen Ripley would show up.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like being spooky and whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't really understand why Freddie Mercury is around.
Freddie Mercury loved cats. I don't have the factual evidence to support that, but I feel like he would have been down with them.
Sure.
I mean, he'd go into a cat cafe and you just say straight to your face, don't stop me now, because he loves petting them cats so much.
Oh, that's what the song was about. I see.
Yeah, because he's having a good time. He's having a ball.
I get it now.
The ball was the ball of yarn, to be specific.
It's all adding up. It truly is all
Freddie
adding
Mercury.
up.
Truly the biggest cat fan, and in this setting is still alive, which, hey, good for him.
So, the show, it opens up. There's this group of people. They're running in some tunnels. There's a stampede of cats coming after them. The cats get one of them, turns them into a cat. Then we flashback. We get some exposition. There's a couple of there's just an occasional narrator that isn't any of the people and doesn't show up very often. They show up a couple times in a very forced manner in episode 1. I don't know if they even show up again. For this first bit, it's here's a little general exposition. I'm I understand that. But then they just show up a couple other times. It's why? Why? It doesn't feel very natural. But we flash back to before the Neandemic, where the trio we saw running in the tunnels, they work at a cat cafe. Before that, they're trying to. We just get more of them trying to escape. Then we flash back. One guy, he has amnesia, and just I guess showed up. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know where he came from. He just. I guess this cat cafe just hired a guy who showed up and was I don't know anything except for the fact that I love cats. I don't know who I am, but I know I love cats.
And they
were that's all you've got the job.
Oh, I mean, when the job's a cat cafe, I feel like that's a kind of one of the main qualifiers, wouldn't you say?
Sure, but I think just, being all there is also pretty important. I suspect, and there's a couple of reasons for this, I suspect that he is the inverse of what's happening to everybody else. I think he may have been originally a cat, and now he is a man.
So, he's the reverse. He's the secret to solving this plague.
I guess, but the fact that he started before, or it, at least right now, may imply that it's less like reversing what turns people into cats and may just be turning cats into people, which is a unique distinction because that means that any old cat, whether they were once human or not, can turn into a human. And I might be wrong about that, but I think I have a little piece of extra evidence later that makes sense for it. So we got him, and he's Kanagi. Then we have Kaoru. Those are the two important. Then there's two others. Who matter less.
I mean, that is kind of in keeping with most older zombie films, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
because the others just exist more or less to eventually be turned into cats.
So, the Neandemic begins. A guy comes into the cat cafe, eats cat treats, becomes a cat, and then infects the other cats. It seems like the cats were cool, right? They're vibing. But then they touch this man-turned cat, and they become hungry for, I mean, not really blood, but hungry for transforming others into cats. I don't really know. Like, zombies, you can be like, oh, they want flesh, they want brains, they want the virus to spread. I don't really know what, like, the cats want, what the cats are doing, what, like, their internal motivation is, right?
I mean, I feel like you could make that argument about cats in general.
They're an enigma.
They are, quite frankly, very, very confusing creatures.
Yeah. So, they all begin running away, and then, shop owner, who's, Kaoru, it's her brother, he's like, oh fuck, I'm becoming a cat, leave me, and so that happens. So that's the first episode, right? It's a fine episode. It's a fine episode. The art style and general mood is very serious, right? Edgy, dark, gritty. In contrast to, cats. The cats, because they're like, oh, we need to do a lot of cats, they decide to do CG cats. To try and compliment it, it's like more well done than a lot of anime CG. However, that doesn't mean that it is good.
Oh, no.
It is above average and yet still subpar. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. I mean, it's almost like, animals in general are very difficult to animate.
Yeah, especially when you're like, all right, how about a horde of them?
Yeah, like, because, that is kind of the definition of a zombie apocalypse is, a horde of said creatures.
And one thing that I wrote down in my notes, I was skeptical of, even halfway through this episode, right? It's a fun gimmick. Obviously, the premise is a fun one. Just stylistically, it's fun. But can it stand for the length of a whole show? Does it have it needs to be able to do something with its gimmick, right? To add enough substance, or else it ends up just being a very shallow experience. And so I entered with a certain skepticism that it would be able to accomplish that. Episode 2, we get one of the stranger plot points. Not really even a plot point, I guess a world building point. It may be relevant later. There was an explosion at the cat food factory, right? And a journalist filmed it, but then that video was deleted and the journalist disappeared. So there's some grand conspiracy. Are the cats doing this? And
have the cats learned how to hack?
And I've yet to, I don't know exactly, like, I don't know the rules of the show yet. So I don't know. I don't know if the cats did it. This would have been before the proper Neandemic. So I don't know exactly what's up. But early Neandemic cats are stampeding through the city. Some cops try to set some traps, but they don't work. Our gang of 3, we cut back. This is after the Neandemic has started, but before the bit we saw in the intro.
Yes. It's very much non-linear storytelling.
Yes.
Is the way to describe it.
It would be nice if it was just sort of like a past present, right? And we could cut back, but we will have later flashbacks even further. So we're jumping around. We're jumping around. So the trio of Kaoru, Kanagi, and guy who dies in the intro, they're escaping.
Tanishi.
Sure. They're running. And as they try to escape, Kanagi, the guy with amnesia, he distracts the cats with a toy. They all get into a grocery store, and Kaoru's friend is there, or possibly Kaoru's girlfriend is there. That's what it is. What he's implied is that Kaoru and this girl are in lesbian with each other. It seems
Another common zombie trope.
yeah. So it's heavily hinted at. But they're trying to keep it on the down low. And then we get a flashback to this friend, Tsutsumi, meeting Kaoru and all of that. And Tsutsumi, she has a cat allergy, right? And I guess I just didn't understand cat allergies, because in my mind, right, it's the dander and the hair that you're inhaling and then irritating your shit, and your body doesn't like that.
Yeah.
As it turns out, what it actually is spidey senses, where you can tell where a cat is within like 10 meters, right? And it just like activates automatically. So Tsutsumi is a cat detector. And interesting thing, she does have the sniffles around Kanagi. Now, Kanagi, of course, works at a cat cafe, was just there. He may have hair and dander. I don't think they're going that route. I think he's a cat, so Tsutsumi is allergic to him, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Interesting theory.
That's what I'm thinking. And it doesn't really make sense, because they do use her powers to detect cats while Kanagi is around. And theoretically, then it would just always be on at the same level. But I stand by my theory, and I just think they don't care about that. So they're in the grocery store. As it turns out, a bunch of people are in the grocery store. This might be, they like references. Like, there have been so many references already. Maybe this is straight up a missed reference, honestly. It's sometimes it's easy to tell, sometimes it's harder to tell. But they do adore their references so much.
Yeah, no, you can tell that the author of this likes horror, like classic horror
stuff.
Oh,
yeah. And so rescue helicopters are coming, so they're like, oh, hell yeah, but also a cat has gotten into the back of the grocery store. So episode 3, we open up with the Prime Minister having a cabinet meeting, but then he gets got on his way out. We flash back to before the pandemic in the cat cafe. Then we flash, nothing important happens. We flash. Here's the thing, all right? Very often, we'll get backstories in these flashbacks. Unfortunately, all the backstories are just, boy, I love cats.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I understand. But that's kind of assumed. I got that backstory from the fact they were all working at a cat cafe, right? I got that already. That, you just have a simple comment of being like, oh my god, look at those cats, I love them so much. And it's like, I understand. You don't need a flashback. Or for that flashback, you can like develop the character in more ways, if you'd like. But they don't really do that.
No.
They're just like, no, but cats, you see. And so, flashback to the grocery store, or flash forward back to the grocery store, rather. They all make cat rice together, and of course, Kanagi is all in on cat rice, which is apparently a Japanese thing that they make for cats sometimes, but also the show emphasizes. The show, is like, oh, this is so fucking good. Oh my god, cat rice for cats. And then they're like, hey, but actually don't feed your cats cat rice. It's not actually great for them.
Yeah.
It's interesting because that's just to the audience telling us. Like, none of the cat lovers are being like, oh, hey, but also, it's really just to us.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite literally, I think it's just rice with bonito and maybe some soy.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's primarily called cat rice because it's rice that's a little fishy.
Yeah. So they all have that. Kanagi is all in because he's a cat person.
I don't know. I feel like it could still be up in the air.
A cat shuts off the lights for the whole grocery store, kind of incidentally, but also kind of not. Like, they're chasing a rat, but also it feels deliberate because that's when they decide to strike. So then they pick people off one by one, and and our group of now 4, the main trio and then Tsutsumi, they all escape and get the fuck out of there. So those are the 3 episodes, right? Nice and simple.
Yeah.
And here's the problem, Shaun. It has so much of what I should like, but unfortunately, it is kind of just a shallow gimmick of a show, which can be fine and enjoyable, but like would probably be better in like dedicated 4-minute online video segments than a show. You know, like this is it shouldn't it shouldn't be a traditional narrative. It doesn't work that way because they're not taking it like seriously enough. And it's like them taking it seriously at all. That's a bit of humor for about an episode. But then you're like, yeah, no, I understand that's the joke. And you told it plenty in the first episode. Now it's just sort of going to keep going, I guess, with that same thing. And a lot of the jokes are just not really jokes, but I said it had a lot of references. A lot of it is either references or we changed this word to a cat word, you see. It's not Hollywood, it's Nyollywood, you see.
I mean, yeah, the whole world is a setting that is dedicated to the appreciation and love of cats.
Yes.
Like,
but it's just not that it can be mildly charming, right? But it's not that funny. And so if it's not funny enough to entertain me throughout, and it's like the plot isn't interesting or compelling or well thought out enough, they just it is somebody who knows horror deeply and knows cats deeply and loves those things, right? And hey, I love those things. But the person who created this, while they love those things, what they don't know how to do at their core is to write a good story. And so you'll get a lot of thought put into spooky and cat references, right? A lot of thought gets put into those, but then the end product is still rather weak and fragile because that's kind of all there is. It's all ornamentation. It's all decoration. There's nothing of substance there. It's just all extremely surface level stuff. And I feel like you can get that kind of just skimming one episode. If this was done in more of a short film style or a short vignette style, right? I don't think traditional episodes was the way to go here. Like when it's cutting back to like backstory, that isn't making me more invested in the characters. And all I'm learning about them is that they like cats, which I get it. Like, haha, get it? Because cats are really important. And I'm like, yeah, no, I understand. Everybody's really into cats in this world. I get it. But you're not doing anything new with the joke. It's just the same joke again. It's not enough, and it's so tragic because this show, it falls in the category of things Remington should love but doesn't, because while it technically has the ingredients I enjoy, it doesn't use them particularly interesting. And it's so tragic because I can tell they're a horror nerd. They love cats. And I'm like, hey, brother, me too. Like, I feel a kinship to the creator, but that doesn't mean that it's a good show.
Yeah, I can agree with you on the show definitely leaves a lot to be desired. I will say though, you can tell they know their aesthetics because I went to the trouble of reading the first couple chapters of the manga as well. Because, you know, I was also surprised by a lot of the way they shot it and animated it. And a lot of the actual like paneling and images in the manga itself are quite pleasant, all things considered. Like, yeah. I
feel like this is a great anime or manga to see screenshots of, right? It's a great one to take just sort of like you've just said to me. It's a great one to send isolated pieces from to others because it's kind of best without context. Because it's a fun premise. It's fun. It's silly, and it's fun to see a handful of things and for you to fill in the gaps. But if the show fills in the gaps, they're not doing a great job of it, and so that is worse than whatever you had in your imagination when you heard the premise or saw the screenshots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I will say the show definitely remixes lots of things as well. Like the way the narrative is put forth from what we see is like the first episode combines the first 2 chapters, but those first 2 chapters are surprisingly long, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're like 20 plus pages, which is quite a bit long, and then they just kind of reorder the way it's presented for a lot of them, which is, it's interesting to say the least. And believe it or not, Rem, still ongoing manga, and was started being published in 2020, so mid-pandemic. October mid-pandemic.
I just kind of don't understand. It feels like it shouldn't have that longevity, but at the same time, I've said that about plenty of other anime where I'm like, hey, it's just got the one thing and that runs thin very quickly, but for the weebs. Look, I don't mean to infantilize the weebs, broadly speaking, but to infantilize the weebs, broadly speaking.
Oh, I see.
They're very often like the 5-year-old who is like, hey, let's watch this movie again. And you're like, you've watched it every day for the past 2 months. And they're like, yeah. And I want to watch it again. And it's like, is it ever going to get old? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay. And like, hey, good for them. I need a little bit of variety in my life. I need the, especially if it comes to something like humor, right? Then it's not to say that I can't rewatch a comedy and find it humorous, but I can't continue rewatching it. And even the first rewatch is going to be rare. It's not just going to be for whatever. The best thing about this show is the premise. I think everyone agrees with that. And unfortunately, that means that the best part about it is when you first hear about it. And then it goes downhill for every moment you watch it.
So you're saying genuinely the best way to experience this premise outside of random snippets is maybe to skim the manga and see if it has the kind of progression to make the story itself more interesting. Because with the 3 episodes of the anime we watch, it is not covering it.
The best way to experience this is to have a friend who's really into it, right? And they'll just ask them to send you the best bits out of context. And then you will mentally fill in the gaps between what they send you. And whatever you're imagining will be better and more interesting. And your friend, they don't have great judgment, but that's fine. They'll have a fun time, I guess, because of their low standards.
So all in all, you hate cats. Interesting.
Okay, all right.
Interesting way to translate the material there. Ron.
I love cats. I love horror. It's just that I need more than just a show being like cats horror, and then I'm like, oh hell yeah, and then good writing, and then it's like cats horror. I'm like, oh, but like, is it implemented particularly well? And it's like cats horror.
Oh, bless. And I will say, I skimmed to a random chapter. Ram, I don't want to say you called it from the get-go or that anybody could have called it from the get-go, but I found a random screenshot from a panel, and it's a panel of a cat pointing to a sign spelling out letters. So, I'm not gonna say that you're probably 100% correct on these things, or that it was like the most obviously foreshadowed thing in the face of the planet, but
I like if this show had good writing, right? Oh my god, I'd love it so much. Because then it's like, here's this crazy premise, isn't that fun? And then here's the craziest part, the show is actually good. In this case, it's just like, here's the show's craziest premise, and then you stop there.
Mm-hmm.
As Shaun just continues to send me isolated screenshots, which once again is the best way to experience this.
Genuinely, like, you can tell, like, the one thing that this author is very good at is throwing serious characters in silly situations. It's just the connective tissue between them doesn't seem to be too strong.
Which is why I think that just doing a more isolated vignette style, right? Like, if this was online video where each one is like 4 minutes long, right? It's just a little scene of a particularly interesting or quirky predicament. You know what I'm saying? And it just, there you go, and then it's gone. That would be solid. But they were like, we need a traditional length show with more traditional storytelling. And that is not what this kind of thing needs. That's not That's not playing to the strengths of the premise. It's not playing to the strengths of the creator.
So you're saying that what they needed to do was take this premise, and they're honestly very solid art.
Yeah, yes,
the art.
The art is good. The animation is less good than the art. There were some moments. I was reminded of the Junji Ito thing because there was a moment where characters were running, and they're just sort of sliding across.
Oh
and
yeah,
I was like,
the budget for this show was, as far as I can tell, not very high.
But the art and the art style is really good. The animation and then like CG cats, that leaves some to be desired.
Yes.
Which once again, screenshots. If you said just like some screenshots or whatever, you don't need to see the sometimes wonky animation. You can just appreciate the nice art.
Yeah, and the thing that is extra funny about this is the studio that did this is Studio OLM, but with like 10 different producers behind it as well. So, like, you know, who knows what the thought process was, but because, hilariously, this is the same studio that made Odd Taxi.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So, yeah. So, the studio isn't the issue.
Yeah.
It just genuinely seems like a lot of bad decisions went into the adaptation, and maybe that the story itself just didn't lend itself to be well animated. Like, weirdly, I think this is the type of stupid manga that could theoretically be a good, like, live-action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like genuinely like serious action-y zombie movie star heroes.
I think there's
dealing
lots of
with
ways.
an obsession with cats.
Yeah, there's lots of ways that I think this premise could be done correctly. I think the main issue here it's a strategic misfire. You know, that's the big thing. Where it just you made some wrong choices, some wrong calls, that sort of doomed you to failure given the tools at hand.
Yeah, but you know, silly cat premise, Rem.
And the premise is great.
And it's nice to take a break from things that would have traumatized you previously.
Sure.
So it, like I said, Rem, currently airing series. So any guesses on what the MAL score is for this one?
Oh man.
I'm wondering if this is going to be a tricky one for you.
I think so. The weebs, they tend not to mind repetitious nonsense. They're often sold hard on the premise, and then if the premise is good enough, ignore quality. Gotta have the like horror dip a little bit, which I disagree with, but it's always a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also cats.
Yeah.
I guess 7.13.
Is that your final answer?
I guess.
All right. Well, Rem, at the time of this recording, I believe there are only 3, maybe 4 episodes out, and with those 4 episodes, this season only 2,300 people have reviewed this show, which I think is our lowest in a long time. But with those 2,000 ratings, Nyaight of the Living Cat is sitting nice and respectably at 6.35.
Whoa! All right. The weebs don't like it.
Well, yes and no. Like the stat breakdown of it is what's interesting, Rem, because there's like, you know, it's small numbers in comparison to other things.
Sure.
Right? Like, with the 20,000, like since there are only a couple episodes out right now, 4 at most, only 2,000 people leaving like reviews at this point. Like some people wait till the end of the series to leave a review. Some people give it a little more time. The general consensus is quite literally 50% of the reviews are split between 6 and 7 out of 10.
Huh.
Yeah, like, and there's like an 8% or 10s out of 10, which if you're giving this a 10 out of 10, you must really love cats and really love zombies.
Yeah, yes.
And like the next highest rating is 5 out of 10 with 14%.
See, and I understand those kinds of ratings. But the weebs, I understand the reasons.
You're baffled by the weebs are having a similar opinion to you.
Yeah, I understand the reasons why like a normal person would rate it there.
But the weebs are baffling you. You're confused. You're conflicted.
Yeah,
I just sent you the full stat breakdown,
like,
and you can see it's a weird split.
When has that ever stopped them before? So it's hard to get a grasp on sometimes when the weebs will just randomly be like, yeah, actually those are legitimate criticisms criticisms. And I'm like, what about all the other times where you guys ignored those legitimate criticisms?
Oh, you see, because those things weren't popular and beloved.
But
This is just a weird little niche thing that I figured that you and I would find funny as horror fans and cat fans. And I was right. It's a fun little break show.
It is a fun little break. You can probably get the dopamine you want from one episode.
Just read the first chapter. Honestly, the first chapter is really solid. Like it's framed like a traditional like survival horror manga, and it's very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Ren, this is one of the lowest scoring things this season.
That's surprising because while I think that it's bad, I don't think that it's uniquely god awful, such that the weebs rate it that way.
Well, again, it could just be small numbers. Maybe there'll be a Nyaight of the Living Cat renaissance by the time the final season comes out. I mean, we have been proven to be wrong in the past. Maybe we're just judging this show too harshly.
When the Night of the Living Cat mobile game comes out, then it'll really pop off. Then, oh baby.
I mean, look, man, you never know. Yeah, because quite literally, I think there's only maybe like 7 things that are lower in score on this that have episodes currently. And I shudder to think what makes these so unwanted. Because I haven't watched them for my seasonal watch through stuff yet, but I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Because, like, you never know. Like, just when you think that anime can't get any worse, something comes out that makes you sad and disappointed. So, the fact that there are shows lower rated than this one is and the fact that there are several, like, generic-looking isekai that are rated higher than this one, it makes you lose a little faith in humanity. But on the bright side, Rem, top half of the season, lots of people are very happy. So, once we get a chance to go into the actual things that people are looking at this season, then maybe we'll have a better time.
Sure.
Though that being said, a lot of the stuff this season is like sequels.
Yeah,
so,
there it is.
So, like that could be part of it. But yeah. So with that in mind, Rem, I think the final question I need to ask you, is there any chance you'd want to watch a little bit more Nyaight of the Living Cat? Give it a second chance, maybe?
I think I'm all right on that front. But hey, I don't mind seeing the occasional screenshot.
And this is probably the most enjoyment you'd ever have from a 6.35 on Mal.
Maybe. I feel like there's possibly been some that I've enjoyed that the weeps fucking hated. I feel like
Forest Fairy 5 comes to mind. But that was even lower. That one's even lower on Mal.
Yeah, there have been a couple that people just hate for little to no reason that people get on the hate train for that I've actually enjoyed. So it's rare, but it does happen.
Hilariously, more people have watched Night of the Living Cat and reviewed it than they have Forest Fairy 5. And Forest Fairy 5 came out in 2017. And Forest Fairy 5 has 3.27 on Mal, which I think has gone up. In part, probably due to our audience.
Good work, everybody. We're doing it. We're bringing those
also,
numbers up.
Also, still one of our most skipped episodes.
Yes! Despite being one of the most referenced. Given the amount we reference it, so much of our audience has to just continuously be like, what the fuck? Why?
It's an experience, my man. It's an experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoy Remington talking about how much he loves cats and horrors yet hates them at the same time, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcast and leave us a review. They mean the world to us and we do read every single one. And that, if that is not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime out of context, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. I've been playing through a lot of Final Fantasy lately. Just started Final Fantasy 3. And, one day I'll get to the modern Final Fantasy games. Who knows when? And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/anime out of context, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
Well, as always, we'd like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are betraying us and leaving us for dead to the cats. And on that list we have Yandere Neko, Wolfire56, Why Does Darth Vader Not Have Rickets? Where's our DBZ review, you ginger fuck? Wes Kane, Don't Come For Me or My Boring Horse Girls. Week 16 of using my Patreon named request code Geese. Watching Requiem for Spoonman at 0.5 speed. Totally good. Titan CNH. Thus saith Lord Bochi, art thou winning disciples as one string was turned to 6? The Susanator, the Danish Viking will conquer the world with Ornors or as my navigator. That time I reincarnated as a podcast host and forced to weeb. Turban, take the blue pill, hashtag transgender Shaun, Swaraj Verdi, Super Zoo, Stacy's mom, Spar C, Shaun. There's, look, man, you gotta parse them. There's a lot going on at all times. Shaun wants to give Spoonman a thank and yank. Shaun tans to get more orange like his idol. Shaun, he can't tan, don't be silly. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he became the world's best fiddler, diddler, and riddler all at once. Shaun, quit sucking with my grandma, please! Shaun, I'm going to suckle from your hairy teat after you have been on estrogen while you goon to bunny girl marriage. Jesus Christ.
I think I'll die now.
Shaun has told me in confidence that he will vote for Trump again when he runs for his third term, hashtag Red Pill Rollins. How do you feel, Shaun, that on just an unofficial little Discord poll for what our funniest running joke is, Red Pill Rollins won?
I'm going to contribute it to recency bias alone.
People
simply due to the fact that and people love hearing me suffer.
I think it's that the funniest jokes have a hint of truth.
Do not.
What's fascinating is it's almost exclusively a Patreon reading joke at this point. Like, it's very rarely brought up in the main episode, right? It's But still, it's the gift that keeps giving in the patron reads. Shaun, come back. You left your other nut in my bed. Shaun blocked my cock. Seraphim the Shark plushie. Ryan Moody. Ross Palmer. Rhiannon Williams. Remington is right. Remind me when we record again. Rem was right. The Digimon theme is the best sex song. I remember that conversation.
That was a wild fucking conversation. And I don't know if that is true.
And then you just, the double thrust at the very end. Oh man. Champions.
Look, I haven't tested that theory, but I feel like it's not
it keeps them on their toes, right? Just in and out. Digimon, digital monsters. It's just the arrhythmic pace is really what gets them going. Rem used the drums.
I feel like that double pump is what's going to keep you single, man.
Rem used the drums of liberation to free all weaves from bad anime. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Red Pill Rollins topping Elon Pelon in MAGA hat. Red Venom. Professor Fox. Pro tips out of context has run out of things to post. Will come back soon. Playing Umo Remusame and training up my horse Rem's stamina. I don't like there being a horse Rem. There's a lot I don't like about horse Rem.
Well, hey man, you've been depicted as a shark boy on the screen for a while. Maybe it's time to switch you over to being a horse boy.
I've been a shark boy. I've been a penguin boy. Whereas you're undeniably a cat boy, right?
Which
I vary it up, I suppose.
Yeah, as far as our audience is concerned, in my persona on the internet, I am the everybody's ninth favorite cat boy.
Oh, man.
And I will stand by that.
Hell yeah. PJSK Addict is still traumatized after Alien Stage and wonders if Shaun hasn't seen it yet, week 10. Oh no, the great seed turned into a seed. Never letting Rem forget about his vampire past. Mitsuko wagered all her money on a parlay at the Uma Musume races, and now she lives in a box. Yeah, that'll happen. Mikeka 7 Hierto, making Shaun blush with my conservative southern noodle. Macaroni cheese.
Well, it's a good thing Dylan gave me a spiked coffee for this recording.
Just an Irish coffee for you,
Yeah.
Lucky Stars, the King of Moe, Link Jokerl, the Nerd 98, King Rich Rock, Cassidy, Jax, Jam Hands, Jake Dent. I'm selling Omega Shaun milk to make rent. I'm a Republican and I'm glad Shaun is on my side. I'm making Rem call Shaun ethnic slurs until you bring back the Chef and Omisco tier, Shaun, you buckra. I will never get more use of the diamond, now I cry. I took a wrong turn, do you know the way? I showed my grandma Aunt Shirley and she watched it all by herself. Did I turn her into a weep? I can't believe I made an account for this. Hit point. God. Glenn Michael Dolan. GE bottom AK bear trap. Wild update on the crime in my town. Someone got shot trying to break into another house near me. Fern the Fern. Farmer Weeb's run choice of the week. Shaun finds happiness for a week, or Shaun takes estrogen for a year. See, what if the latter led to him finding happiness for a lot longer, is what I'm thinking. So let's try the latter. That's the choice I'm making for him. Because the first one is fleeting, all right? He'll have one good week. I want to give him more than that. Fantide, Europe fact of the week. French isn't a real language. Erica McCorkle, Dylan Appreciation Day, Daniel Riot, Daddy Rump, tell me a bedtime story about Sean Snut, Calderius, Cheese Monkey, Rock Hard for Geodudes, Ito the Dorito, Boring Siren, Blarf, Bento Kato, Amazing Muffin, Aisha Gudgy, I'm a piece of trash. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. Sean, what are they gonna get this time?
I mean, like, it's kind of obvious, isn't it?
Well, you know, one of two directions.
I'm gonna give them types of men. No. No, I'm gonna give them lovely cats that they can theoretically turn into when the Nyaight happens.
Perfect. On this list?
Or, sorry, Nyandemic.
Yeah, there you go.
Catastrophe. Which, like, there are so many different puns you could choose.
and on that list, we have your friendly neighborhood Kami.
They can have an Abyssian.
Umbrasite.
That's an Aegean.
Truckun Operator number 42.
American Bobtail.
That Mouse Girl.
American Curl.
Thanks to another patron, Allfather now has to have burgers and couderes for the 4th.
American Shorthair.
Tails Williams.
The Aphrodite Giant.
Spoonman the Aristocrat.
The Asian Semi-Longhair.
Silent Secondary.
Australian Mist.
Sean X Dillon Fan Club meets in the Big Hole today.
Bambino.
Sammy K is here to remind you that you just lost the game.
Bengal.
Roscoe.
Berman.
Rem still needs to watch Bandori's Maiko and Ave Mujica, or else Kasumi will keep singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Brazilian Shorthair.
PowerCell waits for Crumbslut's Bakery to reopen and try the Red Pill Rollins gingerbread cookies with MAGA
British Longhair.
Nurikaza hashtag SONR soaking one nut Rollins.
Chartreuse.
Monogatari is everything you ever said you want in anime. This week in terms of checkboxes, it is 5 times higher than Love Stage.
A Cypress.
Mike.
Devin Rex.
Miguel Deleon.
Donskoy.
Lieutenant Beagle wants One Piece live action on episode 400.
A Dwelf.
Loser goes on estrogen, high stakes pride, Triva says Titaro.
The Exotic Shorthair.
I'd like to start a petition to replace the word brat with kudere.
Foldex.
Hidden Otaku.
German Rex.
Dom and I, not drunk this time, watch Trigun because it's fun.
Himalayan Persian.
D.
The Japanese Bobtail.
Carver 271.
Let's go with the Kinkalo.
Beethoven 1201.
Korat.
Bakshin.
Lampkin.
And now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where...
Oh, and I just have to say Dylan gets the Flame Point Siamese, just so you know.
Oh, perfect.
Because, you know, that people want to know what Hermaeus is, so there you go.
For the inappropriate Joey Wheelers, Sean, as Joey Wheeler, will give a variation of the zombie apocalypse. So instead of zombies or cats, that you will turn into blank. And I will tell you whether or not you survive. On that list we have, that wasn't very Bakishin of you.
Your apocalypse is extreme weeaboos.
You fucked. You got no fucking shot. They're fucking everywhere, brother. I swear to God, every time I meet with all my friends and stuff, they'll start a fucking weeby conversation. And I swear, every time I fucking meet a new friend, right? And then I learn that they're a fucking weeb. And I'm like, why? Why is everybody now a fucking weeb? What the fuck? And like some hide it, but it's all there. It's all there. Next up, we got Sean having sex on a regular basis helps keep your memory alive. Happy 2016.
I think like the flirting, I think I'm getting used to. It's like the constant like 2016 MAGA stuff that keeps making me sad. Okay, your flavor of zombie apocalypse is capybaras.
And with the capybaras, don't worry, you're gonna survive, but it'll be a close call. And last but not least, we have fellow anime out of context on Blue Sky joining the shout out. Sean, will you show Rem Code Geass Season 1 Ubauk?
You can have, your zombie apocalypse is essentially, tardigrades.
And with that, there's nothing you can do to them. There's nothing you can do to them.
Yeah, no,
even if you're safe,
like,
society's fucked. Like,
yeah.
Everything's gonna get got eventually.
Yeah, look on the bright side, though. It's like immortality.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
God, I'm just picturing, like, bear-sized tardigrades as the apocalypse instead of, like, proper size.
Yeah.
That'd be truly horrifying. But once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do 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 do. It's got